Gene Simmons has finally agreed with Ace Frehley in regards to the album The Elder. This is the Rock and Roll Weatherman. My name is Sean Morrison. I was reading this on Ultimate Classic Rock, where back in 1981 when Kiss released that album The Elder, which was with an orchestra. You know how the album was. You can listen to it at the first time. It was the first Kiss album not to achieve gold status. And Ace Frehley insisted that the band did a rock album, but unfortunately they didn't. And Gene Simmons goes and says we were listening to other people that wanted us to do this, do this, do this. You see how things happen. If you're not subscribed to the Sean Morrison YouTube channel, please do so. Everyone else out there, subscribe. Thank you very much for the continued love, honor, and support. It's really appreciated. If you'd like to make a small donation to the Sean Morrison YouTube channel, kindly do so via Sean Morrison Enterprises via PayPal. Basically, Ace Frehley ended up quitting the band as a result, and Gene went on to say, he had his demons and all, so he did have a point that we should have made a rock record, and now I do agree with him that we should have, but he is right by saying that. But he said he had his demons when he was saying a lot of this stuff, but he does agree with the part about him stating that the band should have did a rock record. Then after Ace Frehley left, as you know, they were using studio musicians while they were working on Creatures of the Night, which ended up being Vinnie Vincent on Creatures of the Night, even though you always would see Ace Frehley's picture. That was back in those days before internet and all that other media stuff, if you know what I mean. But I believe Ace Frehley is I believe is in the I Love It Loud video, because there is a Space Ace in there. It's definitely not Vinnie Vincent. All jokes aside, so then that happened. Vinnie Vincent ended up joining, despite having the other studio musicians that did work on Creatures of the Night. But as you know, there was no Elder tour. There was some TV appearances, and I know apparently there was one where Ace Frehley didn't show up or something, I believe, and they ended up going. It was just Paul, Gene, and Eric. So that's all. Hopefully one day, maybe on one of the Kiss farewell dates, you might get an Elder medley. Maybe help do a World Without Heroes and a couple of other songs. But interesting that Paul Stanley agrees with Gene Simmons agrees with Ace Frehley in regards to the two Kiss should have made a rock record and not the Elder. Probably would have been better after a mess, but hey, those things happen. Shame, shame, shame.